Not cheap. You have to pay a lot for them.
Expensive stuff.
Smooya, he's playing more of the defensive on his lonesome, getting information. Peek comes through. Violet so confused about where he actually got tagged from there. So Smooya does get away with the opening frag on the board now, leaving 4 members already only left for FM. That's not a great way to kick things off, as the play will most likely be towards the B-bomb site as well. And even with 5 players alive, it's so hard to hold the B-bomb site in the best of times on those pistol rounds for CT, so it's going to be awkward.
Yeah, going to be awkward to say the least, as Neilzinu is going to tag away from the back of platform with his USB and Pulse. He's really filled the ranks up towards long. Smooya has no idea what is coming, but still lands to flick as he takes him down, just perfectly pre-aiming the angle, in fact, as it is now going to be Roma to try and continue this trend for Fish123. As they're starting strong on their T-side. Smooya going to spring to action from Long Stanley, looking to go a bit more aggressive here, as it is going to be the city side rotating into position. Not quite out of this. They do still have the kit on Weber after all, which certainly is going to help them. But they're rotating more and more players over towards A, leaving just a welcome mat on this B site, saying, you know what, come on in, the site is yours. We've all got a bunch of friends in, it's all well and good. Grab a drink, relax. Neilzinu trying to chime in with a headshot here and there, but you can't help but feel like it's a little bit too late.
Especially when Smooya as well. He's still the late round backstab. He's coming with a lurk. Absolutely owned it towards the A1 site as he finds a frag on towards Weber. Mole as well now eliminates Neilzinu. If the round wasn't already over, when they got that secondary frag over towards A, it was completely done. At this point, you leave Stanley left on a 1 versus 4. Stanley is so effective. Individually, very talented, but you just can't win that. It's not an easy round at all. Smooya, another frag goes his way as well. So that's a pretty sick round coming through. I think there's a 4K for him. So just from being able to catch people off guard, Smooya dismantled the team.
It all comes back to one player. A player that we really kind of stressed quite a lot on our lead up to this match, and off the back of that previous map, steps up in the pistol, gets fished that first round, but we've been here. Sure, that last map is water under the bridge, but we kind of do have to refer back to that style and say, will FM be able to get that upset and start showing their CT side? Of course, you do look towards Fish and say they should be on that sort of higher scoreline, being on the T side of Cobble, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. It's just some damage to be applied both to Fry and Stanley combined. Every player, while Weber has opted for that close range CZ, and it's going to be an interesting stack in towards drop, but one that will give Roma that window that you can try and jump through with that UMP just to get a little bit more fragging power down.
They will be setting themselves up, getting ready for the late round drop into drop down, try and take their way through aggression towards the big bomb site. Obviously, the thing is they have the SMG space, so you can actually just throw people down towards drop down. Most likely you'll overpower the pistols that are close by. But they still have the range advantage as well, so there's no reason to go in heavy-handed here. Just play it slow, use the map control to your advantage, slowly approach in, take control off the CTs, bite back. Thing is as well, 4 CTs in CZs in play, it's going to be very awkward if they peek an angle that actually complements close range.
For now, 40 seconds left. A lot of patience being employed by Fish. It does get to a point though where you do have a little bit of caution when it comes up to these pistols, because you leave it so late that you have to almost go for this quick blasting push. We don't think the opportunity is going to be there, but for the most part it's looking pretty good, but they've not dealt with Pulse. Pulse is going to be the problem here as Roma is going to combine Smooya, ending Keita revenge for that previous map, leaving Stanley in a 1 versus 2.
Stanley seeps in behind, ready for the right moment to strike. Works his way around, does transfer damage over, but no kill going to go his way. Roma will execute him there with the UMP. As the buys come back through as well. Obviously, they did do a fair bit of damage, actually, to Fish123 in that round. It wasn't the cleanest by any means, but it's still not going to affect them that badly. They're getting the bomb down. They're cleaning their way through. Looking like they're going to be able to get this 3-0 on the board, but some team attack actually comes out. Keita, yeah.
Smooya and Keita have a bit of a feud right now. Previous map, Keita and Smooya. This map, Smooya and Keita. Now we've got some stabs going on in the spawn.
Yeah, that was a bit odd, obviously. Actually could come back to bite them in this round a little bit, as if Keita basically just wants to go for the aggressive play. He's the one with the SMG. So he's going to burst down, drop down. Then they peek here over by Broken Wall with his AKs. Try and make the play seem like it is all out aggression towards the bomb site. Then they go for a late round A take. Should be the idea in play here. But if they find that kill on towards Keita, grab themselves a mat 10. Sure, it's not the best weapon, but it could still complement to actually do something into the late round.
Even if they find a pick with it, even if that's the only thing, they get 1 frag with
yeah.
a mat 10. That's money for the CT side. So we're going to see if it is going to bite on towards the head of Fish right now, as they are just slowly making some tread, just swimming around in circles somewhat, as they do look to make themselves an opportunity up on towards this A set. Of course, that is where the bomb is currently venturing towards. Very much as a big cluster of this T side. Of course, the core of FM are pretty much all in connector/B. Even just one player, Neilzinu, do so much on this A side. Elevated angle, pretty much just saying, come on, pick me apart. Oh, back with the Vulture is here. Smooya gonna find himself a pick.
That's the thing. Expecting it was going to be the B players, there was information gathered towards that site. When they now go for this late round burst, and they send Keita through connector as the backstab man, the late round lurk, it's so easy for them to slip their way through. They do execute though. Weber strikes, takes him down, another peek comes in, Smooya gets one, but trades out by Pulse there. Unfortunately, they couldn't find a kill with the Mat 10, so they don't get a big cash injection to go along with it. But still, 2 rebuys going to have to come out for Fish123. It will dent the economy a little bit more. Stanley as well hoping to find something. He can just suicide here as well, because there's no chance of him. You know, he doesn't have to run the risk. He knows he's only got that USP. Didn't invest anything at all into the round. Why not just get picked off if that's the way the cookie's going to crumble? Into this one now as well. You can see they did dent the economy of Fish a little bit, but not really that much to write home about. The AWP still can come out over on Smooya. Effective amount of utility across the board as well. Meanwhile, for FM, the first spy comes out. This is where things have to get serious now.
FM though, they need this round nice and early on just to give themselves some presence on the board. They do have the control amount of rifles here. No war to complement the side of Smooya. It is going to be an early peek coming from him. Swap himself some feet. Has a bit of a tap, but doesn't quite connect. That's already going to give away his position. Matrix now going to be a spot left touched. Smooya already looking for that frag towards long, and steps to be taken as well in towards mid mean that Weber is in a tough position here. Really going to have to make this one work. He's going to be repeat by Mole time and time again. He's got to force the entry. Supported by Nilzenia will somewhat help, but as that push comes into one long, Keita, he knows what's up. Pierces through the screen. Weber going to be supported by Stanley further and further, but this leaves his A site so far out of position that Smooya can run riot with the AWP.
Kill comes out though as he flicks his way over. Smooya taking down Stanley. Now then, 3 versus 4 at this point. They do have the advantage in the battle of attrition here. Weber with the face though, rattling on that trigger, trying to do some damage, but can't quite connect the shots. Fry as well. You can see he's aware of the player on the bomb site, but can't really go for the peak sufficiently. When he does, Smooya is able to execute so quickly. Keita as well, just going back and forth on these frags. It all falls on towards Pulse, but a 1 versus 3, no chance. Just get out of there.
A masterclass from Fish in terms of how to bait players out, how to force them out of position. All they did was just allow Mole to consistently show face over and over again at the bottom of Matrix, just in mid, just always right by the doors. There was never a chance that he would die right to the very end, and when he eventually did fall, FM was so far off the A site that Smooya was just given free reign to get himself onto that site before the rest of his team could touch, which meant it was pretty much a take from the inside out, a complete role reversal for what FM would usually expect. And this means Pulse now, the present, well, that 1v3 as you mentioned, nowhere for him to go aside from just dart on over towards this B site, try and beg for mercy almost to save this M4, because that's value in itself right now for FM, but this is not the start we needed to see in Cobblestone.
No, very awkward, obviously. FM, you expected, obviously, okay, they're going to lose the first 3 rounds, they didn't get the pistol, the economy isn't going to help them. Coming into that first buy, that's when we thought, okay, tides might start to turn here. But they couldn't get the AWP out, so Nilzenia couldn't really do too much with it, or potentially Weber or Pulse. I mean, you never really know who's going to be able to actually don the AWP on the side. That's the thing with FM as well. They're so volatile in terms of who wants to go for the AWP, because they just all are very proficient with the weapon. But they didn't have any chance of getting the weapon out. No cash. We couldn't see an aggressive face come through. So they had to just wait for the peak to come in. They got overpowered as well at the time when Fish actually went for the strike on towards the bomb site. Now back into this scenario as well. One weapon that was saved on towards Pulse. It relies so heavily on him to do basically everything in this round. His teammates can do damage to his pistols, but they can only play close angles. Pulse has to be the big man into this one.
Certainly putting him up on towards a pedestal tree. An angle to really watch towards as well. That's where Pulse is playing. Zhenko going to begin to get some ground towards long. It's going to be a CZ peak to come into the drop zone as well. Just pitching themselves over the ledge. That's right. A few more in, but Pulse still waiting to see what he can do here. And in fact, because drop is covered for him, because door is covered too, he can just put position on platform right now to get them. He's supported. He goes for the spray. A double kill for Pulse. A third to come in as well off the back of Stanley. This is perfection from FM. Stanley hungry for more. Mole finally securing the trade, but is it all but too late? Pulse is still standing, 13 HP, but 13 HP all the difference. Fry now going to support with the season, holding tightly. Smooya with the AWP will somewhat throw a wrench in the works. He does find that pick, bring it back to a 3 versus 2. However, this is time for the rotation as well. Smooya gonna get taken down by Pulse, who's still swinging, fires off a few more. Mole, the last man standing now for this T side. So much to achieve. Running out of time, 27 seconds left, and Pulse, he does it all. A quadra kill for this man. Insane play from him in that round.
Yeah, that's huge. Really, really dominant stuff. So heavy-handed there. As he had confidence, brings its way through. Now, we said it relied on him so heavily. goes big. Everything needs to do with the M4, absolutely fabulous. If they can do that when they have 1 rifle, why can't they do it when they have 5 rifles? Now let's see if that's going to be a difference maker. Weber as well has the AWP in his hands. This is perfect for them. Now they can actually play the style of CS they want to. Weber can go for the opening peaks. He can try and get that 1 frag advantage on the board. Actually gets tagged though.
For 1 HP?
Yeah, what the hell?
What a tag. That is quite something. Keita going to begin to look for that window of opportunity over towards long as he does begin to pry himself into this round. Mole, Smooya, both just pretty much playing around the edge of this smoke. It's Fish123 very far back in this round, just tiptoeing around the edges, seeing what they can find themselves, and pretty much just giving them time to think. Some space before they do begin to get themselves further and further forward. Looking to really just gain some ground on towards long right now. That seems to be the target, but utility after utility is just acting as the perfect block. We see smokes go down, Molotovs burn away. That's all going to fit out eventually. Smooya takes advantage of that just as it does. Like that 1 second gap to find that pick, but Neilzino back straight back, flash is going off, and Neilzino knows what's going on. But Keita gets dropped down low, but it's not quite enough. He finds that headshot, snapping the neck of Neil in return.
Absolute execution coming out. This is what we wanted to see as well. A whole lot better at this point. You leave yourself in a 4 versus 3 now. You force the CTs to try and back off. They're now trapped towards the bomb site. As this push starts to come in as well, Keita, he's just getting pounded on, sure, but he's not actually taking that much damage. And he's able to just tiptoe out of there. He should be caught off guard by the man on the site, which he will. Pulse comes in with the opening headshot. Actually tries to take the initiative as well. Peeks out wide though. Rome is able to get the kill. Jenko, one going his way. And now Fry left in a 1 versus 3. This is so horrible. The reset as well. If somehow Fry can pull this out of the bag, it'd be crazy. But most likely he's going to get picked off here, Flakes. The amount of money they're going to have left into the next round is just going to be abysmal.
This is a struggle right now, one that is so much uphill for them. Just as they thought they found themselves their foothold, it was just crushed away from them. As Fish123 begin to really run away. Thankfully, FM, they do have a little bit to play with, but they have to make a decision here, and it seems to be just all-out warfare for them, engaging in this battle. They've gone for the AWP, the 2 rifles, and the pistols on Fry and Stanley.
That's the scary factor. That's the thing. They have to skimp on those 2 players, as the money was just broken off the back of them. And it's so awkward for them as well, because sure, Pulse was actually able to win a round single-handedly before, but the AWP Pulse as well. Pulse is crazy individually when it comes down to his AWPing skills. He actually is very, very effective. You're going to see some crazy flicks coming out from him. I wouldn't be surprised if he could actually be a bit of a game changer into this one by catching them off guard. And Fish123, no AWP on Smooya, so they can't try and go for any aggressive faces early to try and get those opening picks, especially towards the B-bomb site. They have to just play around the AKs and go for more of a burst strategy into the late round.
It's going to be a struggle. Can they get themselves, these players, to play so just on this monumental scale, to put it fairly? It's such a big ask, right? So these 3 rifles, or 2 rifles and AWP, so you got to find those picks. Big ask. These pistols are so out of their depth.
Oh, the face though, somehow Stanley gets the 2K. What the hell? How's Stanley been able to get away with that? Goes back in for the 3rd pick as well. Tags down to Smooya. That should not have happened at all. Somehow he's allowed to just sprint up, peeks all on his lonesome, does damage, just spamming into their shins. Eliminating them. Pulse finds 1 frag as well back on towards Smooya. You leave now Weber in a 1 versus 2, but Weber, he's been in this position a million times. He should be able to pull something out here as Mole is low. If they don't peek together, Weber will be the one to try and capitalize. Gets the first strike somehow. Does he get taken down as well? He is low, but he is still alive and kicking. Has time to reload his rifle now before he goes back in for the peek. Smoke goes down to try and block him off. He is unaware of the position of Mole, who has the bomb waiting behind the fountain, waiting for the motor to strike. 9 seconds to play with. Weber peeks out, finds the kill. Weber goes huge just at the right moment. Grabs the AWP as well.
A man out of his depth seeks desperation. Comes through for his team. What a play to make it work with the rifle. You mentioned just how many times he's been in those situations. There are so many clutches. You look back through the ages of UK Counter-Strike, look at some of those classic frag movies. That man's in them, and for a good reason too. Showing it again as he gets FM such a big round, a round where they really shouldn't have a shot to win. They do. 2-5, still not going to be looking too good for them in terms of scoreline, but much better for them in terms of the potential to bring it back now. As at 5-3, it should really be a tough one for Fish to try and force. It's just with these pistols, this should be going the complete other direction. UMPs as well in play for FM should help replenish their economy. Some battles will be taken both towards mid and mostly towards this A site. As Fish123 are looking for an opportunity, but not given it at all.
Thing is though, that smoke burns a lot of time off. They actually do flash push through it in the end, but Neilzinho's just able to do damage. Neilzinho, 3K comes out. That is crazy. And he tears his way through. They want to try and get through this with as minimal amount of casualties as possible, and it does seem like it is going to be nigh on flawless for them. As Pulse finds that kill back on towards Smula, nearly gets the kill back on towards him, leaves him 1 HP with the Deagle. He's going to be kicking himself. But anyway, they get through. Flawless round comes out. What FM needed as well, they need to not only get these rounds, but they need to get them in such a fashion where they have a healthy economy start to build.
3 kills with the UMP does just that. Really helps Nilzinho replenish what he's got. You can see him miles ahead of every other player on his team now, 4,300 in comparison to the likes of 2,200, 2,100 or so. So really, really so strong from him. Very supportive of the FM lineup. Now the Pistols just trying to blunder their way in towards drop zone. Molto's going to go down to greet them. Not a perfect little wavy hello as it is going to be forced with the rifle to clean house there with the M4A4 as he does then aid the UMP of Stanley. FM looking strong, dealing with these pistols nice and contently.
Very effective. That was very good to see as he just teared his way through. And they had no answer at that point. They just had to keep pushing into the meat grinder. They peaked 1 by 1. Frag was away. Pulse, Mole, hoping to make the situation a little bit more manageable, force out another casualty over to the side of FM if possible, but it was not meant to be. They will drop down, but now they have the cash to reinvest though. But FM 1 round away from actually equalising the scoreline at 5-5. Now, obviously, this map is slightly more notched towards the T side as well in terms of its favour. So you expect Fish to really try and lock it down. And it looked good at the start. Those 5 rounds were huge for them. But they have to try and bounce back into that form now, or FM could definitely get a very effective lead out of this.
Very double-edged sword, though, right? We could see this still go 2 very distinct directions. It's not all up for FM. Very easily. Slips so quickly out of control. So far, it's just going to be a smoke towards long. Some gap to be created, just not really too much presence here for FM. It's just players dead set on either side, and FM really giving up their control. They're focusing much more on mid right now. Roma is going to prod towards drop. Alright, playing this one perfectly right around the edge of it, using that as well, but very defensive. Gets tagged on down, but still pulls through with a double kill. That is going to be a huge part of FM trying to claim this 10th round.
Ooh, be hopping around. Jenko will be caught though. Stabbed out of the air by Stanley now. As it falls on towards Keita and Smuya. The duo themselves as they go for the peek through, hoping to get an opening frag, but Weber just has it covered. It's just so easy for him at that point. You can just take the peek whenever you want, shut them down. Smuya left on a 1 versus 5. This is basically going to be another flawless round going through for FM, as I highly doubt Smuya will be able to achieve anything here. Bouncing around with smoke in his hand as well there, as he was able to get his way back over towards stairs now. Could have been awkward if he actually went for the full peek. Pulse is going to walk into his crosshairs. An easy AK headshot does come through. Well, they're going to play it smart. I thought they were actually going to go for the all-out push onto him, try and hunt him and take him down, but they do back off. This is a lot better.
It's better. That money right now, it's going to be just so important for them to really stack up all those dollars. As they do eventually claim his life either way. It's going to be a 5-5 scoreline as well. Nilzinho really still the player to lead the charge in terms of economy. 10,800 now for him in the bank. Personal finances really supreme. Of course, the AWP is going to be in play on towards Weber. Pretty standard stuff for FM. And they've really saved themselves now, because this T-side having 5 rounds is almost what you expect on a T-side of cover, right? 5, 6. So for FM to get themselves up to 5, it's looking much, much better. They're very likely to get their 6th of their own right now, and then they can use that to just carry on their own volition and push further and further. And on CT side, getting yourself 7 rounds, 8 rounds, that's a big win. So, they turn it back on its head. Can they keep it going, and how far are they going to be able to take this?
Well, he will take the first point of contact. Has the bomb as well, though. So the peak coming out right now, if they actually found this execute on towards Mole, any chance of Fish123 pulling anything out in an eco would be taken away from them very swiftly. They could just defend the bomb, they lock it down, they win that round easy. They are going for more of a split and pick style. I mean, they're basically going to burst late down through drop down, try backstab as a lurk, and then take control of the A bomb site as well. So it will converge at the same time of a pincer play, but you'd imagine that FM will be able to pick this up fairly easily. Obviously, the angles they're holding do complement them. They have the rifles as well, so they should be able to tear their way through. Potential the T's could pull something out. Not really going to start off well for them, though.
Already that first pick fully going into the side of the CT. Fry looking to double dip, gets himself just another on towards Smooya, because why not? Then go in for more. He's so hungry at this point. Mole, Jenko, both will turn up one for this T site. Jenko's still swinging with this Deagle, but unfortunately he's just flailing a sword left, right, and center all over the board, but gets nothing done. The shots go astray, and Stanley will eventually take his life, and it is going to be at 6th on the board for FM. Keeping it clean yet again, building up that economy, really going to be a helping hand for them. We come to the end of this first half, just a few more rounds to go. Fish, desperate to try and get the most, almost maximum value for them, really.
Yeah, they need to try and do something better than normal into this round. They can't just have an average round come out here. They really need to lock it down, but they need to lock it down very quickly. FM, they've actually got a bit of a silver lining, you know. There's been a break in the rain at this point, and everything's been going well for them. You can still slow that down, you can still reset it, but you can't keep having these rounds where you allow FM to lock it down so dominantly, where they actually get a lot of money to play going into the following one. Right now, with a 6-5 scoreline, looking like there is potential for FM to actually lock this down and win the half quite heavy-handedly, which is not what it looked like the game was shaping up to be at the start.
This is to be created over the drop. Used, granted, should we say, by the smokes and the flames thrown on down. Those are eventually going to be extinguished, however, and that will begin to fade away, so they do have to get going. When that does come in, as Mole is the man to lead the charge in this push. Just always checking towards platform as such, making sure that he's also very cautious about second room. But what they aren't going to predict right now is Weber's position. He lands that shot with that AWP, he cements that lead for FM. And it's going to be so dangerous for them more and more repeats to come through. There needs to be a perfect flash. Jenko as well needs to do work on platform. Is he going to predict the angle of Stanley? No, but Stanley peeks out Roma. A quick trade in return. But Keita, now cautious, checks towards connector. This could be
It's coming through. Weber, though, does damage. He finds the execute back on towards Roma. Now left on a 3 versus 2. Fish get absolutely battered. Peak comes out. Weber will put them down. It's just Mole left to get executed. The backstab there. Fry will be the one to pull the trigger. 7 rounds on the board now for FM. Fish pump the last of their economy into another buy. The double up setup in play for FM. Looking strong, looking ready to keep this one up. I mean, if this is an 8th round on the board, you've got to wonder when Fish will actually have a chance to do anything.
Well, they're just being ground out now. Fish just looking so much like chum for the Sharks. FM continue to circle around, find these picks off the back of that double up setup, which really kind of was the turning point here for FM. They were able to do it with the rifles, then they upped their game. They didn't just allow Fish 6 rounds to go, okay, they're doing the same thing with the rifles. They kept being dynamic. And that makes Fish's job so hard for the T-side to work out what play they can do to slot in and get themselves that plant, let alone actually go for a round win. So you've got to give props to FM on that kind of sleight of hand of just making different plays.
They are going to group up now as they make their approach round, trying to take that fight towards the A bomb site. Obviously, Smooya here, low down, will be caught off guard. He tries to take that aggression out through mid. As Nilzinho, it's a very awkward angle. Obviously, you have to peek quite wide to try and take this fight here. And Nilzinho has the superior weapon if Smooya was going to go out with that Tech 9. But he's gone back up Matrix, going to peek from side. Everywhere they want to peek right now, they should be actually overpowered very quickly, as this does favour FM if they are going to play this slow start. They need to go for more of an aggressive burst and overwhelm. Like this.
Going to find himself that first with the Tech 9. Just a little bit more though, but Warp on the site was certainly in. Thing to work with. Keita will, however, just take that one down. The rifle reigning supreme. Roma going to go aggressive, forcing the hand of Fry. This is getting rough now for the CT side. We praise them on their ability to be dynamic, but this is looking volatile. Fish123 have a huge advantage. FM, just back away. The door is shut. There is no way for you to get yourself onto this site. Just save the AWP and the M4. Sure, you could argue they don't really need to save it, but why force rebuys if you don't need to?
Yeah, that's true. It's, it's not worth the risk at that point. You might as well just allow this one to slip through. As now they will back off, hold those weapons, play from that site. I mean, Fish look like they might get a little bit aggressive here. They're actually playing kind of up close. Obviously, they're not going to push too deep in because their economy isn't that stable either. But they're actually taking the fight through, seeing if they can seems. But yeah, not actually pushing into the side now.
The goal for FM here is, and what they're really going to be talking about right now is saying, alright boys, it's 7-6. Fish, they've just been able to chime in with a round. Let's reset them here, let's force them onto a wonky buy. in this next one and secure a 9-6. That's FM's goal. This is what they see for themselves, the 9-6 stuff. Whether they get there is going to be a tough storyline. Of course, they can almost certainly go for this double-out setup again. I want to see something fresh from them, though. We praised them on that ability to be fresh. Show us that now. You've got to show something, because Fish, they seem to have worked out what your play is, and they've learned how to crack you. Nilzinho slapping the egg open, though, as he does that.
Damaging stuff, as he will be able to claim that frag now. Fish as well, walking their way around. Sniffing it out, seeing what else can actually go their way, but nothing can pop out. Now, Smooth being executed that early on as well is a key factor into the round, as Smooth is normally sort of the aggressive entry. That's what we've seen actually coming out, where he will bound in first, sort of, not giving a damn, tries to get the opening frag on the board, then sparks the initiative for the rest of the teammates coming back him up. And that's been working out quite well. We saw that with the mid-aggression that really was the whole reason the previous round got pulled apart. Pulse makes it even better as well. So not only is Smooth down, but Jenko also gets picked off. A lot of the prolific fraggers slowly getting weaned off on the side of Fish. You now just leave Keita, Mole, and Roma left standing with these AKs. Not in a good spot. They try and link up to do something together, as they basically have to wolf pack and just try and overwhelm at this point. But it feels like this round's too far gone.
Problem is, in this previous round they were pushing up on towards A, they had a player who was able to deal with that AWP on site. This time, that's a much tougher affair, and Weber, he isn't really facing in towards long too much. He's just holding tight on towards wood, and if he does peek, he'll be looking towards the right or left side of APC to make sure that this ramp push isn't too kind of tough. So this is going to be a hard push. They check their trades, and trades are always going to really favour this CT side. It's just look at their numbers. It's all on Mole here trying to make it stick, as he does get himself into a 1 versus 2 off the back of a double kill. But even then, this is an overwhelming force right now for FM. This is going to be a very tough match for him to pull through on. They don't give him 1 versus 1s. It's done and dusted already as they begin to push. Chesto's going to be spotted out. But no! We just said don't do this, but they're going to allow an elevated angle for Mole now. Gets the tag down. Stanley, 73 HP. No utility to play with. Does have that kid, of course, but Mole is playing this one smart. Just diving around the place the push comes in. Playing time. Mole looking for the headshot, but Stanley finally pulls through with a headshot. But it should never have been that close.
That was crazy. It looked like Mole was actually going to find the round as well there. At that point, played it very well. And it was just kind of awkward, as you said, with the double face. I mean, they were kind of staggered on their push through. One of them was out in the open at the wrong time, gets taken down. That was so dangerous at that point. It really got bad, yeah.
It just went from being really, really good, a crystal clear round, to what on earth are you doing? Where was the decision then? Where was the thought process? It just seemed very much 6-year-old flailing, no idea what I'm doing, just going to go for the push. So we advantage of that now. Finds the weakness, attacks Weber, and gets himself an early pick for his team.
That's the thing, Weber, the confidence on display, he had the AWP, wanted to try and go for the early pick towards Matrix. They're going to clear their angles as well. Keita should find this kill. Will do so, shuts down Nilzinho. This is perfect for them. Aggression towards the A bomb site, where they found so much success. Pulse up close to Versal, might be able to deny a little bit of their steam, but it is not going to be the case. Right, we'll do some damage. Luckily, Drake comes back in there. It's just Stanley left now, and this is as good as done.
Just reinvigoration for this T-side off the back of that previous round blunder. Mole be able to get so close, pushes them further and further to the idea that you just got to step up and grasp some rounds. And, well, they've got in with both hands. They've pulled away. They've done a good job at it now. It's going to be, for the most part, flawless. Mischenko will take the head right off of Stanley. That means things will close themselves out 8-7. Not bad by FM for a long shot. 8 rounds on the CT side. You're going to want that, right? That's still pretty damn good. But I guess it's always that question of it could have been better. It could have been harsher.
Yeah, it's true, right? Like, it still could have been a way better scoreline, but they let a few things slip towards the end, and that's where it all kind of went wrong, and yeah, it's just kind of awkward in the last few minutes. But 8-7, you come in here early. It heavily relies on FM actually getting some steam behind them on the pistol. If FM are able to open up quite big on the pistol, that's when it's going to get bad. But it's the same could be said. Fish123 can definitely lock it down if they get the opening rounds. It's all about winning that early game self-esteem, because honestly, this second pistol round is so vital when the scoreline's this close.
So important. I guess that leads us to the question of, what are FM going to employ here? Is it going to be another kind of slow and steady round where they bank on the idea that the team who are going to kind of go with this very slow style will actually be able to pull through with those entry picks? Or is it going to be just a quick spouting push, perhaps a split on towards B? That's very standard on Cobblestone at a T-set, especially within the UK scene. We usually see 2 different variants, right? It's always going to be either something quick through long, or something through drop and kind of platform on B. What do you expect from FM?
I'm not too sure. I mean, it's going to depend on the buy, because if we see Nilzinho go quite heavy on the utility, it'll be, obviously, we expect basically clock armor for everyone but Nilzinho, and he'll go for like a smoke and a flash, or smoke 2 flash. And then we'll see the aggression towards B. He'll smoke that in, block off a little bit of line of sight, double flash over, they push out and just try and use the aggression. But, I mean, most likely, I expect we are going to see the B play coming out here. It's the standard a lot for FM as well. You don't really get too much luck on the A take early if you just burst your way out. I am just intrigued, though, overall, how they're actually going to play out this T half. Because, obviously, from what we saw before, they looked a bit uncoordinated on overpass in a couple of rounds in the T half, where it seemed like they were playing more just split and pick rather than actually executing a strategy. And it's odd because they do have a very vast playbook as well. So it seemed like they were kind of sort of holding some stuff back. So it'll be interesting to see if that is the same case, obviously, because on their T side, this is where we expect Nilzinho to really display, how he coordinates his team a lot more here.
I feel like the difference though between Overpass and Cobblestone is Overpass. It's a lot more easier to be creative in strategy and do things that may not be all that common for other players to know, other in-game leaders, tacticians to know. Whereas on Cobblestone, a lot of the map has really been explored, and there's a lot of simple strategies that you can do that everyone knows. You see teams, right down at the bottom level in the UK be able to do them. So there's no reason why FM can't come out with some very well put together, just basic compositions. Whereas the difference is on Overpass, sure, you have those basic strategies, but at a higher level of play, a lot of those strategies are labelled redundant in comparison to Cobblestone, at least.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, it'll just be interesting to see actually what they do there. Obviously, into a pause now, assuming this is a tactical pause, I'm guessing. Maybe someone just taking that time out before the game starts to actually work out what they want to do.
I feel like it might be a technical pause, shouldn't fry from what we're gathering. Yep, it is a technical pause.
Yeah.
Unpause is coming soon, though, apparently. I'm going to slap a TM on the end of that.
Soon TM. Is it coming Valve soon? Or Blizzard soon?
Half-Life 3 soon, that's great.
Just never coming out, then.
Just never. There's no pause at all. It's all a light. There you have it, though. Who's actually going to come in, and we are going to get ourselves ready to dive straight in to the second half of what could be our last map of our first series this evening. FM 8-7 up, looking for this pistol. Opting for 2 utility players over just the one. Weber, that second man, double flash and frag grenade.
Yeah, so they actually have a lot more utility than obviously we expected they would get into this. That Molotov as well, it'll be interesting to see how that is actually utilised as we work our way through.
Certainly something to keep an eye on, as it is going to be FM just building up outside of A right now. They were certainly spread out just across the entire map really at one point, but they decided, let's just take a step back through Dragon, head ourselves right back on towards this A site, get ourselves built up in ramp. And this is where the utility starts to really get utilised now, as it is going to find a smoke down onto the door. That's already going to block off Smooya. Starts to force to rotate. Molotov out as well. Not actually sure where that's gone towards. I'm assuming that's going to be the A towards balcony or towards there where it is, covering on Cubby. Battles to be taken. 2 kills already to be found by the Glocks, and they rotate from Fish very, very late and slow. Things will just favour this T-side so lovely right now, as they just get all of the picks. No real response from Fish at all.
Yeah, huge kills coming out. This is crazy right now. FM looking good for them. Mole, the last man left standing. He's even going to find a kill. Gets executed. The backstep comes through, peeking at the same time. Great teamwork there, good communication on display. FM locked that one down very quickly. Straight investment as well on towards the rifles. You can see they mean business at this point. The one SMG comes out over Nilzinho, obviously the 2 EMPs as well, sorry, over on Weber and Stanley, and then the 2 rifles that come out on Pulse and Fry. So they have range to work with here. You might see, obviously, Nilzinho get a little bit more aggressive with that Mat 10. Possibly he's going to be the lurk here, goes for the backstab. Obviously, it'll be the all-aggressive into the A-take. Nilzinho then comes for the late-round backstab over through connector. That's Weber, actually.
Either way, though, it's the same story, right? The players decide the mission very much similar. It is going to be just a few peeks to be taken. Some very thought-out stuff from FM. Wanting to be very, very careful here. They don't want to throw this one away at all, right? This is very, very important that they can connect these rounds up. Gives them that huge advantage going into the second half. Great shot with the Deagle. Connects a tag by the looks of things, but early even that as Pulse with the right chime on in. The other side pretty okay as Stanley does support, takes down Janko as well, adding insult to injury. Comes in and Stanley, while blind, finishes off Roma.
Nice frags actually come through there. Obviously, just locking things down. The thing is, they didn't even need to do anything too flamboyant into this round, as they just had a massive advantage anyway. But they're playing it very close to their chest. They don't want to run the risk of losing any of these rounds. Potentially as well, I wouldn't be surprised if Pulse and Fry actually just hold back because they've been dinked a little. So they don't want to run the risk of losing those weapons. They just can just stay. The rest of the teammates can take the aggressive stance and find the frags if they want to do so. Obviously, the SMGs, just rip your way through. If you want to push out, yeah, Nilzinho especially, that Mac 10, just try hunt and find the kills. Stop Fish123 from getting away with that armor and those pistols, so they have to spend more next round, and also you get the Pash bonus.
It's also the other interesting point when you talk about FM map saving strategies and the like, but also you take a look at this series third map, being Inferno, of course. That's going to be a map that FM might not be all that experienced on, might not be too comfortable with. It's a map that we talked so much about in UK Masters. What we running through their minds right now is, right, boys, let's just get this 2-0. Let's not take it to Inferno, where Fish do have a genuine shot at sneaking that map in and getting themselves the series.
I think at that rate, actually, FM would lock it down over Inferno if you went that way. Because, I mean, we saw them 16-9 endpoint yesterday. As well, I have seen them play Inferno before. They don't look like a bad Inferno team at all. Plus, the thing is, they actually have strategy as a team on Inferno, whereas Fish123, there's no way that this 5 is played together on Inferno, basically. And even when they were XL, I don't think they were bracking Inferno. So, and even then, this isn't XL.
That's like a death sentence right there, then. That's
yeah.
basically what you're saying. All 3 maps all fated one direction. It's a tough one to crack if you are a Fish fan. This round just missed them. Nothing too crazy. And still, FM being very, very safe here. Just taking a lot of battles together, making sure we go really as a tight-knit unit. Mole will fall to a CZ, and Smooth actually just another, but once that comes in to really steal the ranks there as well. But with the UMP, finds just a little bit more money. Back to Mole. Peter, got to tap on through, and a lot to be done by Fish there, surprisingly. But FM still come out on top, 11-7.
11-7, dogs do go to heaven.
Simple.
But no, good round actually coming through. Now, obviously, as well, this is where things have to get serious. But they have no money for the AWP, as they weren't able to build up enough economy as they worked their way through into those prior rounds. So it's going to be a little bit awkward for them. Obviously, they can't take the fight through. They have to just allow this one to kind of trickle out.
Frag grenades just to be thrown off the edge of the wall. Just a bit of early presence to be garnered by FM as they do begin to at least show some sort of signs towards Fish that it is going to be that B hit. Very classic curve combo. It's exactly what we talked about kind of at the start of this half, is the idea that FM are just going to go for the simple expected stuff, which is get yourself the smokes down, block, of course, block off rock, make sure door is completely covered. It's one of those common smokes on this map, and from there you then have the option to crack back in behind, try and flank, and you just get these picks right. It's going to be a simple trade. Look at Stanley, the way he's got himself being connected. This is just perfect from him, just running around the map, tapping heads all across the board. Smooya finally then has to double back, which takes away from any sort of hold on this site, meaning that life is peachy for FM, as they just get a free site handed to them right on a silver platter, as Fry just takes the head right off of Jenko.
Yeah, that was really just easy. They locked it down very, very quickly there as they worked their way in. Busted economy once again for Fish as well. Look at this. They're pistols loaded. Yeah, there's just nothing they can do. They have these pistols out. FM are going to win this round. That's 13 rounds on the board before Fish can even try and bite back. They have 7 rounds to play with. They need 8 to try and take this into OT if Fish can't get to that match point position. And it looks like that's kind of where they're going to be heading to fairly quickly.
Getting rough. We're rocking the Doomsayer mentality right now, which is very much against this Fish side. It's not about it's just the way they stand as they jump up against the experience of they just don't seem to have any sort of game plan on their CT side. I mentioned Inferno to you. I was talking about maybe Fish being able to sneak something in on Inferno, but your instantaneous response there was strategy and composition on Inferno. But you know what, let's just take everything you said there and apply it to the CT side of Cobble too. It's the same sort of thing right now. Fish don't seem to know how to approach this CT side. They've had a few nice rounds here and there. They've shown a few nice ideas. But as we said yesterday, just because you've got ideas doesn't mean you know how to execute those ideas. Doesn't mean you know individually what to do in certain situations that FM force you into.
Look at it this way. The only 3 players on this team that have actually played together for, like, you know, a lot of time in a team environment is Mole, Smooya, Jenko. Keita and Roma. Roma was obviously playing in Fuse, then Pickles replaced him on Fuse because he didn't want to play in Fuse anymore. Keita's always played with Fish, but none of these other players have played throughout the season with Fish. So you get into this scenario now where they're playing more team-based over their CT half. And sure, they have a little bit of structure, but they haven't really practiced. You know, you've got to imagine, I probably highly doubt they've actually got any practice in as this 5 as well before the games. They probably just straight went into the playoffs, just thinking, all right, let's just do it. So structure-wise and composition, it's not as good maybe as possibly it could have been if they would have had some groundwork in. But they've had a good display. It's just at this point, FM, in terms of how long they've been playing together and everything like that, you've really got to just say they're going to be able to lock it down. Into this round, though, it is going their way. Fish have been tearing it up. You just have Nilzinho left. It's a 3 versus 1 situation. Nilzinho trapped with a UMP can upgrade to the AK, but even then you have all the angles covered. It should be an easy frag to take him down, but he actually does connect the headshot back on towards Jenko. Goes in towards a site that has no one there to defend it. B is completely open at this point. He has to clear the angles as he's not sure of that, but when he wants to try and go for the commit and get the bomb down, if he does it quickly enough that Mole can't actually execute him, this could be a good situation to be in. He could potentially take 2 1v1 fights here and lock this round down.
I've seen Nil win these. I've seen him win these online. I'm concerned right now. Nil gets the bomb down. No contest can come in for the backup platform. He's now checking for that push, waiting patiently to find that headshot. Doesn't quite land it the first time around. That's information garnered for the CT side. They have a lot of utility, but back will still be taken. Nil falls in a rock and hard place, but he picks up the shot. Now falls back, playing left, right, and center, trying to really buy him some time. But Keita will put the final nail on the coffin, takes him down. Nil this time around won't pull through, but getting it to a 1 versus 1 is so much damage to the Fish lineup that if they get reset in this follow-up round in this 22nd, you can almost begin to go back to that point of just writing them off, writing them out of this series.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing in that situation as well. If he would have actually got the first shot off when at the instant peak that came out from Mole, if he would have killed him with that first shot, he would have won that round. Because then he would have been able to reposition before Keita got there. The only fact is, because he missed, he wasted so much time trying to kill Mole that Keita could get into an effective angle that allowed Keita to overpower it. So that was good to see. Obviously, look at this though, Smooya. Aggression on display. This is a lot better as well. Confidence is actually being brought out from Fish now as Smooya pulls out a hat trick out of the bag. They were not expecting anything of the sort. That has really confused them.
Finally, Smooya shows up, and shows up big time with that triple kill. Still sitting tight as well, making sure that Nilzinho even dares to think about peeking, that he will end him right there and then. And that's going to be the case. Smooya going for the ace. A beautiful round for him. A masterpiece of Counter-Strike. It's Fish123. They do get themselves the follow-up. Up to 9 now on the scoreline. 13 rounds still for FM to play with. Money, not pitch perfect for them, and they are going to be spending a whole lot of it. Pretty much everything they've got left going to the 23rd. It's a bit of a different storyline for FM. There isn't no craziness of them being able to buy over and over again until that final round. So it's not all out for Fish. They do have a shot. They've just got to keep on being able to repeat these rounds. Well, they need more of that Smooya action.
They need more confidence. It kind of seems like they're playing scared in a lot of the rounds. That's what we've seen that's been going wrong for them. And that's why we're kind of like, look at it. You know, they don't really have much structure behind there. You don't have that much structure. You're playing as a mix. Use that mixed team mentality. Go for those sort of plays. Sure, it won't work most of the time up against FM, but if you can catch them off guard, play strategically, you know, controlled aggression is going to be really effective against them.
Unfortunately, they tried to peek out towards them. Instantaneous going in from Keita. They go again for a second, trying to save face, but Smooya will just eat them alive. Down ever so low, but doing even more. Finds another pick on towards Pulse. Not quite in the running for an ace, but already a double kill. Why not? Stanley, aggression in towards mid. Someone withdrawing back. He knows Keita's wrapping him from behind, though. And this means things are tough. So much time. Even getting that frag means that this T side are left with just 45 seconds in a 2 versus 4. Gonna begin to run on down. Jenko standing tight in towards connector. You can see Fish, they don't have any information on what this bomb is going to be. Weber gets another 1 versus 1 on towards Smooya, in fact, which starts to really aid FM. Weber looking back to the score, repeats again, tries to go for another frag. Back towards balcony, Molotov to block off door now, finally supporting Weber, will be traded out by Jenko for the things, but Stanley going to get the long range, left now in a very disastrous spot. As he darts back in towards Wood with 10 seconds left time, they're coming back to be a pertinent point as a Molotov going to land right at his feet. But he's crossed out of sight, he's going to get the plant.
That bomb will go down now, Stanley. 1 versus 2 to try to play around this. They do find the shot though. Jenko had a cheeky little off angle, will connect it. The defuse comes in as well. It was so close. Looking like FM might have been able to get their foot in for the ball, but that's 3 rounds on the trot. Just 1, 2, 3. They're keeping themselves going. They are swimming upstream. The damage to the economy has been done to FM, but they can still get a buyout if they want to. You know, obviously, it's a lot easier to get the buys out over on that T side. It's cheaper. Buy will be coming back into effect, but the pause comes through. I imagine this time it will be tactical.
It's got to be tactical, right? They're thinking to themselves, all right, let's just take a second to breathe. Right now, FM, they need to build themselves down, stop Fish from getting so far up, as well as being able to chain these rounds together, because it's so healthy for their economy. So many different factors that really bake themselves all into one. FM, just sit for a second. Use this pause. But what are they going to change? What are they going to do differently? We've already seen the almost reliance on just simple strategy from them. They don't want to do anything advanced. We're not seeing any threat level smokes or anything out of the box. So where do they go from this? They've already done the basic executes towards B. The only thing we haven't really seen is perhaps a reverse take on towards A coming through connector. So that could be an alternative. Smoke off the left side of drop, get yourself a smoke down on towards door. That's 2 smokes that both get done from the back of platform. Then you send 3 players in through drop, and then you have 2 just standing outside A mid.
There is a lot of potential stuff that could actually come out of these final rounds. And this is where they need to actually display anything they had up their sleeve that they were holding on to. You need to kind of whip it out right now. Because look, FM at this point, they have a 1 map advantage. They have 2 rounds away from getting themselves to match point. FM are 5 away. You look at this, potentially here, if they just come in hard and fast now, lock it down, they can close the series out 2-0. If you leave things in an awkward situation and allow it to go through, where Fish123 could potentially take it into, let's say ROT here, you know, most likely, they win out in OT, you go over to Inferno, we don't know how they play. You've got to say, most likely looking at FM will be able to lock it down in Inferno. Just basis of benchmarks of what we've seen them play before, and the fact they do practice it as a team, and they've got a lot more structure behind them, and we know they play the map. Fish123, though, they don't play it, they're not a team, they are just a mix. You always have the chance of them just throwing constant spanners into the works, doing something crazy, and it actually paying off. And the things at that point as well, the frustration that might kick in for FM thinking we should have closed this out a map ago, we're losing now, you know, all these factors. They need to come back in here now, lock it down, get themselves into this match point situation, and try and close out the game. They don't have a good arsenal to play with into this round. It's lackluster.
They're scrabbling around looking for something good, trying to get as much as they physically can. A utility. They've got before or a back, but firepower. Not so much, opting for just 2 Tech-9s, a UMP. They do get 2 rifles up, which perhaps are a bit of an opportunity for them to really lay down some frags here and there, but towards B plat. Just getting a frag grenade up, frag grenade lobs at them, doing so much damage, darting it towards Ball, not checking their corners, a double kill for him. Roma getting a frag on towards Fry. This is disastrous. The T side trying to pull through a trade, but it's only Weber. Smooya punishing him right back, leaving just Nilzinho on a pedestal just around the edges of block, trying to fight around through statue, gets himself in towards second room, but what on earth can he do here? Yes, he's got a minute on the clock, but this is a round where he is clutching at straws. Fish123 dead set to take their 11th.
Nilzinho holding the angle down. Let's find the frag in the end, actually takes down Keita. Look, the A bomb site is open as well. This is a good situation to be in. Molotov can go down. If he was to try and play some mind games here, hold up close personal, potentially if they pushed into it, he could find the opening frag. He will commit, get the bomb down first though as well. That leaves him in such a good situation. If he can create a 1 versus 1, it would be a winnable round. We've seen Nil in these positions before, and he never looks scared. He always looks calm about the position he's left in. And this does, although it favours the CTs, lean a little bit towards him actually being able to pick it up.
They're not facing together either. Look at those angles. Nilzinho gets himself an opportunity to peek them 1 versus 1. They're not even checking long right now. They're not even running with the possibility. Peek in towards Wood though. Roma finally has that idea. Sparks right in with the M4. And that means that Neil's chances this time round are yet again going to be laid down. As Fish123, they bear all arms. They get themselves that 11th just as expected. But, bomb plant. You can't ignore that bomb plant right there. Just saved FM. Really huge for their economy. Gets them 5 AK-47s up. Really gets them a little bit extra utility. Meaning that they can fight. They are still standing. Without that bomb plant, it could have been a lot different.
Oh, the opening kill comes through though. Stanley finds that frag back on towards Smooya into this round. This is good for them. They get that initial bit of confidence, the initial bit of wind under their wings to kick things off. They need more moments like this. When FM get the opening frag on the board, we see them play a whole lot better throughout the procedure of the round. Unfortunately, the trade coming back through. Strong stuff from Keita. Nice showing.
So far forward, but they also have to just contest over and over again. Mole aware of that, takes those fights. Kita will get himself up towards long, but you can see FM, that intuition is kicking in now. They decided to head over towards drop. Roma, the man to try and hold this bomb. They're not checking this, they're not dealing with this. Smart trade is going to come through, which does favour this T side every single time. But when you look at the map, you still have to have that just aura of possibility that Fish123 can take this. 2 players towards A though. If they go towards B on this T side, going to put so much pressure on towards the shoulders of Jenko. If that's just a trade to come in for FM, they could make this run work. Their after plants have to be on point.
He's going to get red down from the sidelines. Actually, Fry finds that kill back onto him, leaves them in a 3 versus 2 now. Keeper and Mole. Goes up, sprinting through Nilzini with a headshot connection there on Mole. Keita fires back, but it is not enough. Pulse will be able to trade that one down. Now look at things as they stand. 14-11, 1 round away from that match point scenario. Smooth though, the big AWP will come back out. That could be a scary factor. The scout over on Fry as well, actually. Yeah, he's going to drop that too. Seems like Webber will be taking the scout. Oh no, Fry sticks with the scout. Webber's going to go to the EMP. The rest of them have AKs.
So undecided on who's holding that scout right now. Fry's like, Stanley, no, you take this. And Stanley's like,
I don't want the scout.
no, I don't want that right now. I'll keep the UMP, thanks. So, they eventually jumble around.
No, no one has the scout.
They get a rifle now. Got that. The scout. Roma, Weber, both will run dead set at each other, bashing heads, skulls clashing. But Weber will come out on top with that frag. The SMG are beginning to do work. Connector now has been taken control of. This kind of leads back to that strategy I talked about of the reverse take away. We've not seen this at all from FM. Nilzinho starting to fry towards long. I like this. This strat is really, really beneficial. And the frags they're getting towards long as well help them even further because means the site is going to be weak. Jenko has to check towards connector, which slows down that rotate. This is good because it's T-side FM. That E-site is theirs. The bomb might not be there.
Look how low they are though. A couple of their players actually taking a bit of a dent. And they can capitalize off the back of that. Nilzinho gets executed there by Mole. Mole with a 2k. Jenko finds one as well. It's now all of a sudden a 1 versus 2. How has it got into this situation so quickly? Stanley has to go so wide to grab the bomb. Grabs an M4 as well, so he's still alive. Has a good bit of kit to work with into this round. And the bomb. But a 1 versus 2 that's fallen all of a sudden from what, like, was a 5 versus 3 at one point, I think? That is absolutely insane.
It's really just FM having a bit of a mare. Just no idea how to approach the situation. Falling to part. Or to pieces, to be more accurate about it. But at the end of the day, it's both words molding into one as they are going to try and part ways on towards connector here. As Stanley just trying to find that pick. Wants a 1 versus 1 here more than he does a 1 versus 2, but has no utility to even help him on his mission. As he's going to get himself on towards the site. The minute he goes to this plant though, Jenko's going to call that one out, and you can see the rotate just come in straight off the bat from Smooya. It's awkward, the rifle already being faced.
Oh.
Jenko struggles, but still pulls through.
That was unfortunate. Late reaction there from Stanley. Flicks over. Did get the connection though. The dink was there. The dank was there, but the dink went through. Obviously got him kind of low. But unfortunately it just wasn't enough. Backstab from Smoothie as well could have been awkward. Even then, Smoothie coming in for the late round rotate with the AWP. At least it would have been 1 versus 1, so more of a manageable situation. Doesn't really go their way though. They did get the bomb plants. They got a little bit more cash to put into this round, but the money was still going to be damaged either way. So it doesn't really help them. Obviously, they can kind of allow this round to slip. Let Fish123 get the 13th on the board. FM, they're going to invest kind of heavily. Obviously, the Tech9's coming out. They'll just go and go for an aggressive play, you'd imagine, off the back of that buy.
Yeah, they're just thinking, all right, we've got the bomb down. Let's use that to our advantage. Try and just make this at least feel like it could be winnable. If they can find some early picks with these Tech9s, they do have a genuine shot. Another bomb plant as well, bear in mind, will also help them going to this buy, try and really cement the idea that they can get some AWPs in play. Because we haven't really seen one of those for a while on this T-side. It's going to be, though, a slow start. FM very clustered up towards long. Taking Matrix from behind, get themselves control of mid off the back of that. Smooya bearing down this ramp, looking dead set in towards door with this AWP, means that, sure, they have kind of control of the room itself, but the beast that lies just on the outside, it's going to be a struggle for them to take down. And it's a beast of many heads, bear in mind, because it's not just Smooya with the AWP. There are many players of Fish spread amongst the site, and they've got 3 players over there from door, just almost long as Keita with the SMG, and then Smooya as well, just still holding tight, as you mentioned. Really just chalks things up to be a tough hold for this T-side to crack. The big Smooya peeks, finds the first. This is Smooya in his perfect limelight right now. There's Mole with the rifle, also on just another Keita. On long does his job on the weather. This is looking perfect for this T-side.
Yeah, very easy. They they do equalise the things up now. They get the effect around the board. Obviously, FM though, oh, money actually isn't great. That's really awkward for them. Maybe they overinvested slightly. I did wonder why they put so much money into that round.
Just the flashes that didn't get me. It's like, okay, you can buy some Tech 9s, but
Yeah.
going for some helmets and
They're
extra
like
flashes.
full utility armor. We didn't really even see that utility really used. I don't know. I was kind of confused why they overinvested so much into that round. Like, yeah, I mean, you can get a buyout now, right? But it's still not great. They can't get the
more
ore.
to play with. Like, when you look at that last round, instantaneously you think, all right, so they got a bomb down, so they're thinking, like, we have a little bit more to spend.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. You look at the amount of flashes they spent. You know, just the amount of money they spent already flashes. That's a whole
They
bit
didn't
when they
even
go
really
in for.
use that utility.
I think 3 players bought flashes each, right?
Yeah.
Interesting, to say the least. Maths not quite being the strong point. One that they are going to have to think about now is we are going to be sitting in a bit of a tactical pause, I'd assume, for FM. Really going to be thinking this one through, because this has to be a perfect round from them. If they screw this up, you are looking at that equalization for Fish, and then we start talking about Inferno because we get just too damn close. 14-14. I give the edge to Fish right now.
Just fished you. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know, honestly. You look at it, this isn't a round on the board for Fish because, yeah, look, they have to invest again just for the Tech 9 armor. This could have been a buy. But they have to just go Tech 9 armor at this point. They're going to lose this round. 100% they're going to lose this round. Like, we've just seen nothing from them on that eco previously. They, you know, sure they got a couple of kills, right? But it wasn't that great.
The only thing they can do here to really save this round is go for a standard smoke execute. When you bought this much utility with Tech 9s, if they do not go for a smoke exec on towards B or A, then you're right, it's over, it's done. Use what you've bought. You've just spent your hard-earned money on getting that. That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah, going towards B, we're going to most likely see smoke execute. At least they are going to actually use those. You've got flashes as well. Divide the site literally in half. You block off enough line of sight that makes it pretty good. CTs have to bend at that point. If they don't bend and they just break because they're really fragile and they can't actually readjust efficiently as a unit, that's when you absolutely like you own it at that point. But basically, you can divide it in two, burst you out to the site and hope to try and find the frags. But Smooth's having the orb.
This is bad. Sure, they go for the smoke. Handed them on a plate. Stanley do the damage. Just pulls them apart. Fish123. Just another round for them. Things looking ever so murky now for FM. As they do go into this with the full buy. Finally, all that utility, 5 flat rifles. No mess ups there. If they lose this, they're on the risk of losing it all. No guaranteed overtime, bear in mind. That was your avenue of attack where they're thinking, like, this goes to That's not guaranteed. Smoothie is starting strong in this round. Catches Nilzinho completely off guard.
Yeah, that's horrendous. Goes in with the opening peak. They know he's been going for this aggression. Constant attacks towards the A bomb site with this sort of stuff, but they've been allowing the first peak to go the way of Fish. When Fish get that first peak as well, like 9 times out of 10, they've won the round as soon as they get that first opening frag on the board. So it's going to be awkward. Obviously, they didn't have any money to get the AWP out on Weber as well because they've been burning so much of their economy on those just random force by like rounds just trying to do something. So that doesn't work out for them. They can't try and go for an opening pick aggressively, say over towards B plat, just peek out, try land it, and then go for an aggressive play. It's going to be so awkward. They need to find at least sort of 2 frags here to get things back in their favor at this point, as already it looks sour.
55 seconds. FM have done nothing in this round. They have no information, no real idea. Childlike in nature, but adult-like in weaponry. They've got to act responsible right now. They've got to do something. They begin to venture out towards platform. Same old, same old. But again, find a pick. That gives them back down to 4 versus 4. Brian Stanley to do the handiwork just for that. But they have to flash themselves out and deal with Romer. They need some support now to come in. They find themselves a spray down. But Jenko, a double kill, looks for the triple, and he gets it. Jenko, how are you getting away with this? Nearly goes for the 4th. 5 HP left on Stanley in a 1 versus 1 up against Keita, who's pushing out on platform. It is over. Keita takes the frag. Fish123. They get themselves to their 15th round on the board, looking to force us to Inferno. And look at what FM have to play for here. Tech 9s and UMPs.
Jenko is an absolute monster when it comes to B-side cobblestone. He literally can dispatch teams. He's unreal when it comes down to those sort of positions. He just tears his way for everyone. So that was crazy. Big round there from Jenko. by coming back into effect as well. FM haven't done a single thing that have impressed me on these Ecos, and you really can't expect too much from them. This time around, Stanley actually gets the opener. Is this where going to be all of a sudden they get some momentum behind them? Obviously, they know they have to bring their A-game here, or they're out of it. Strive finds the frag as well. Finally, somehow, they've actually got confidence behind them into these rounds. Is
this what happens? You have to kick off the arse to get them to play some good CS? Who knows? Jenko does chime in with the first for this CT side, bringing it to a 3 versus 4. The bomb is going to begin to tick away Molotov after Molotov. To put it into the corners. However, just another frag for him with this UMP. Beginning to excavate out towards the connector though, as Molotov's get himself a jump up, returns the frag on towards that CT side, and things get a little bit more toasty for Fish now as they do begin to get met over and over again by these flashes. Fish comes in, Stanley makes it stick, another frag for them. It looks like it's going to be going through this time after all, as Pulse with the Tech 9 gets himself that headshot, so there you have it, Jackie, right after all, 15-15.
I'm so confused. Well, on all of their other ecos, they played so slow. They bought an abundance of utility, never used any of it. Now into their final eco.
That makes no sense.
When they didn't have any, they decided to play fast, and they just
Traveled around
we've located
it. We've plugged in the HDMI cable, and we have ourselves a signal, and that means only one thing. We have typed in MP Mac Round 6. We've got ourselves 10k on these players, and we are going live into our first set of overtime of FM versus Fish123.
Now let's just hope the game doesn't restart. Ugh. Game kicks off though as they make their way through. Let's see how it's going to go. Nade's going down towards drop down early. This is going to be a perfect counter to the double boost play. Obviously, Smoothie takes a bit of a hit, but he is not going to be forced back. They dry peek it as well. Mistakes were made. Smoothie finds the frag on towards Weber.
Starting off strong, platform push it's just going to be a fountain of consistent spurge of players that begin to really be ever so aggressive, but Jenko just making a tear yet again right now. Eventually, though, it's going to be a nade slam dunk from the man Stanley himself, but the AWP of Smoothie is left unchecked. Finally, a Molotov will act as the parting gift, spreading him aside, forcing an entry for Fish on towards this site. Smoothie re-peeking back through door, but they've already crossed. The jig is up. Smoothie, no window left unshut, but no opportunity for him to find a frag.
Pulse! That is crazy! The 2k kills from Pulse there. The headshot and the connection through the body as well. The flesh bang headshot. I think that's called maybe. Speaker finds that though.
Still able to do work. Nilzinho tapping away from platform, trying to go for that still classic Nilzinho clutch, but 3 times now he's been left in clutch opportunities, and 3 times on a T side. He's unfortunately been unable to make it stick as the defuse will come in. The flesh bang, a pertinent part of that round. That one is going to be going in the history books. It is going to be a round up for FM. Starting off strong.
So they needed that as well. Actually, no. There's Fish won the round.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just look at the scoreboard. I was like, I trust your scoreboard. But no, who needs team names?
I've just realised what's going on there.
I was just like, wait, hold on a second.
Guys, I had to look up because I was like, no,
like,
Fish won. And I was like, oh, hang on.
Just so reliant on the scoreboard, and then you're like, oh, I trusted you. God damn it, Jake. John, you let us down. Not like this, boys. Peter coming from long.
Fry's done a kill, hasn't he?
Yeah, Fry's had a stab. Gets himself the kill with the AK-47. Fish, of course, are 0 up, if you did miss it. Smoothie going to do work to bring it pretty even Stevens for the moles while going in
Double fish.
Loves the double fish, doesn't he? Flash to goal as well. He's going to lead them to a bit more of an entryway for this FM side. Up towards the long of 8. Team names back now on point. Good to know.
Not end point, because they're out.
Adams.
See ya, Snods.
Have fun at Copenhagen Games, boys.
Right, into this round, obviously. It's very slow. This is a bit weird so far. Obviously, the thing is with OT, you don't really expect to sort of see standardized play coming out. Normally very aggressive. I found that they've been playing it slow. Obviously, not good in terms of manpower. They do have the money to invest. They've gone for the AWP. Nilzinho's not really found too much with it, though, just yet. And the backstab from Smoothie, I'm not going to be surprised if this gets absolutely deadly. Pulse is there. Spot smell. Huge from Pulse. If Smoothie had been allowed to get through undetected, easy 2k would have gone his way. Things would have been just taken straight away. Roma, though, easy kill coming through. Finds a headshot. Trade back from Pulse once again. Pulse, he's been the only reason that FM are achieving anything so far into this OT. He needs to try and keep up the aggression, but his teammates are starting. Pulse is also going to hit the deck. Jenko finds a frag. 2 rounds so far for Fish123. There is 1 round left in this half. If they have a flawless half off the back of this, I'm scared.
And looking really, really good for them right now. Of course, FM 2-0 up, looking so solid for them, of course. They've rebranded. They're having a great little time rocking a brand new set of logos. Good stuff for them. So they are going to go into this, of course, trying to respond. And no, jokes aside, yeah, you are looking at flawless performance right now. Fish, it's so good for them being 2-0 up. Really just doing everything they need on the CP side. FM's just showing us nothing. It's a struggle. Their T side just running out of options. And I think I'm at this point now where this isn't them saving stuff, Jackie. In overtime, you don't save strategies. They know they need to win this. It just seems like they just don't know what to do. They don't know what to pull out of the bag. And when they do, you have players like Smooya, players like Jenko, who just eat you alive with these M4s and with these AWPs. Smooya really has upped his game in this map.
Yeah, he's been back on form. Obviously, map 1 seemed like he was kind of timid, scared almost, but into this one, he's been just giving it with some of the players that have been coming out, and it's been catching him off guard, obviously. FM, they need this round, right? Like, if they get this round on the board, they still have a chance to close it out into the following OT, but not only that as well, they can actually try and keep themselves alive, whereas Fish123, if they get it, they need 1 round to win the game, and Fish123 physically cannot win. They would have to just take it into a double OT. Pete comes through, though. Mole, 2K comes out. There's the execution as well there from Jenko. If they had any chance in this round, it's gone.
Mole just one in, really, on the list of names that are just classified as players to do the work at this point, as it is really the entirety of Fish. We do kind of give shout-outs to the likes of Jenko and Smooya, but you can't knock off players like the entire roster. Roma, Mole, Kita, they've all had their moments. They've all stepped up and brought the pain. FM are nowhere to be seen. Right now they are standing in the shadow of a bunch of fishes.
So here's the thing. They invest themselves into those orbs as well. Double up setup comes out. It doesn't even really matter at this point. I mean, I was going to say, basically, if they lose a round, they have no money, because you won't be able to get fire if you invest in double up setup into that final round. But they're not even going to get themselves into that position, because physically, if they lose a round, they lose the game here as well. But scary factor is, if they win rounds and still lose players, they still don't even have enough money to get the rebuys out. So the final round of the half, potentially, they need to win all 3 flawlessly to keep themselves alive. They physically cannot lose a round here. They might have a terrible buy for that last round if they lose players. They not only do they have to have a flawless game, they also need to have flawless rounds.
That's a big ask.
Yeah.
That's a very, very big ask. It's, you know, one thing to say, sure, you've got to win all 3, but you've got to win all 3 with the first 2 having, you know, 3, 4 players alive. Denying any sort of clutch potential when Fish are playing their hearts out, putting everything they've got into this. Oh, let's see. It's going to be a bit of aggression coming in towards the A side. Fish looking ready to push further forward. As FM are going to be holding so tightly back, not really any aggression coming in. The furthest aggression you've got is Stanley on the back of the platform. He's just going to get knocked on that first to he'll find 1, so a nice way for him to make a trade out of it, make it a bit more positive. But Fish will still spin it into something that favours them. It's a 4 versus 4 after all. You always will give that to that T side. Yeah.
That first trade always going to be going the way of them, favouring them at this point. Kita. Kita's actually been very on point with the rifle. Very prolific with the AK so far. He's been in work. Obviously, he's a support player as well, so he doesn't really kind of have to step up too much, but he has been. That's been a game changer there as well. Smooth through the legs of Nilzinho. Takes him down.
Slide on right on under, making it work, as then Fry will come in with a hardy rotate, gets us off the pick on towards Mole. Smooth, everyone, is so low, just 11
Another
HP, has to withdraw. As FM with no money left will pull through. And it gets them just 1 round. Entry 3 required. Do leave 3 players left standing, which is not pitch perfect, but I think it's okay.
Well, the scale factor is it's fine for this round, but it's if you lose those AWPs essentially because of how much money they've spent, and then going into that last round of the half, because that's where if you have to get rebuys out again,
they can't rebuy any AWPs. Is pretty much the message here.
Yeah, as soon as you spend that money on the AWPs, that's it. Not only can you not get AWPs out, but for the final round of the half, if you die, you can't get an M4 if you're fucking MP.
I think it's what springs into mind, but let's see if it's going to develop any further as Roma does get that first entry pick. The CT side yet again, they get themselves in the rotating spot. Fry going to begin to steal things out. He's going to find himself just the 1 pulse with the ADB, needs to bring into action as he finds himself to flick on towards Roma as Fry lets rip with the trigger, tapping yet again on towards Mole. But Kita, he's in the back lines, he finds 1 and gets a second, goes for the triple, but Pulse will shut him down with the AWP. But FM, they lose 3 players. But it's just enough. It's just enough to allow them any of the rebuys they require. They could do this. They need just one more round to force us to our second overtime.
They only have the one AWP though now. Pulse, just a singular AWP out on the prowl. Fish123, they still have much player, but obviously Nades is actually kind of lackluster. They don't really have any smoke, so we're not going to see anything really strategic coming out from them now. I think this is going to be more of that aggressive sort of play, but the thing is, that's normally where they actually overpower FM. Somehow that's where they actually get the drop on them, when they just go for all-out aggression, just take the fight.
For now, Fish, they're delaying it. They are playing the cards very close to their chest yet again, just rocking that poker face. Don't want to give anything to the side of FM in terms of opportunities. Snap back and get themselves an early frag, an early advantage. With no utility though, you have to wonder how they're going to get these fights. How they're going to set themselves in position all for aim. Weber just tapping away at these feet, just chiming in with a few shots here and there. And AWP could try and peek in towards Matrix right now, but FM, they're just going to smoke it off. They're trying to put Fish in a box, and the more they do this, the worse things do get, because then Fish are left trying to go for this all-out rush on towards the site, which comes back to that point of just raw aim, raw individual ability. Bear in mind too, if FM are smart, they don't overuse their utility. They have the flashes to completely blind off any sort of push, delay them enough with the smokes and molotovs as well. It should just be frags for them. They let one get past, but they do get that thing to do the work. Smooya coming from behind, but it is just a trade them over again. Nilzinho just doing so much work here. Pulls in with a double kill. Smooya will secure just another trade, but it favors FM at a 3-2. As Mole may be on this B site, that bomb, though, is nowhere to be seen. Information should be picked up relatively soon by FM. This is going to prompt the rotate to come in from Stanley, who will get a 1 versus 1, but Mole decapitates him. Quick as anything, brings it to a 2 versus 2. 8 seconds on the clock, gotta go for that plant, but he's plotting open. This could be a frag, they get a 1 versus 1, but they're delayed. Mole, now an opportunity to peek, he's going to go for the first. Right, picks up the pick.
That's so awkward there. Mole should have at least got 1 kill. Doesn't do it. Leaves him in his 2 versus 1 now. Fry can basically bait the shot out, and then Pulse can trade it. They push up.
Oh!
Okay.
Fry, crispy clean from him as he locks onto the head of Smooya, does the job. And FM, flawless overtime for them to take us back around a whole new rodeo.
OT2.
Just gonna have
Electric
to
Boogaloo.
drop something on the keyboard real quick though to go to the next match, of course. It's not gonna go right
Oh
through.
yeah, because it's not actual overtime.
Not actual overtime. So, oh, is it though? We've been proved wrong.
Bamboozled, have we?
We've been bamboozled here.
Oh no, because now they've got to match point. Now it actually goes into overtime through that. Wait.
Smart.
Unreal.
Second overtime, not the first, but well played.
Unreal. Bit bap bit bap boo.
I'm just going to be waiting for just a short second though, as these two teams will give themselves time to just have a chat, really, just kind of talk things through. And I think for Fish, it's going to be very important they don't let themselves get tilted. I know that's a subject that is very controversial, and everyone will be like, oh, why are you bringing up tilt? But it's a subject you always do have to bring up when you go through flawless overtimes like that, where Fish find 3 and then FM dive back in with 3 of their own. So if there's any mind in the UK to pick on this, it's probably yours. You know these players better than practically anyone else in the commentating scene in the UK eSports space. How are Fish going to be mentally right now?
I'm going to be honest. I thought you said lilt. I was like, why is he talking about lilt? I was really confused when that had come up.
Have you been to Charlie's desk? He's got like 50 cans of lilt there.
I
so
know.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe that's what I was thinking about. But yeah, I mean, honestly, right, you look at it. The only factor that could come into effect is Smooya is definitely a very emotional player. Very volatile when it comes down to that sort of team environment as well. The only good thing is, sorry, the team, it's more of a mixed structure. So as much as Mole will probably be at the helm calling and telling them what to do, right? Whereas before with XL, where it was, you know, very prominent, I mean, there's the classic sort of clip of them versus Heroic, where no one was listening, frustrates Mole, and it's like, why am I bothering? I'm the caller, listen to me. Even if you don't agree with what I'm saying, listen to me. It's better that we do something as like a team and unified rather than we just do whatever we want. But that sort of issue probably won't arise here because, you know, they're not going to be as stressed. As much as it will be, God, we need to win this. It won't be that, like, sort of neck and neck with them being angry with each other like that. But, other than that, really, when you look at that lineup, I mean, Jenko's a really lovely guy. I mean, yeah, I haven't got a bad word to say about Jenko in terms of his personality, so I don't imagine he'd really cause any issues. Roma as well, like, most of them seem pretty chill, and, like, who you've got there. Keita will definitely probably be trying to throw ideas in, but that'll probably be about it. In terms of there being any internal turmoil, I could only really see it coming from Smooya And, you know, Mole only because Mole's passionate in terms of trying to get them to listen. If there's issues with Mole is calling something and teammates aren't listening, that could cause something. But other than that, I don't really see this lineup having too much of an issue. I think they'll be having fun with it, and that'll just sort of be it. But yeah, like, maybe if Smooya wants to do something, he's been told no, then that could cause an issue. But I think like right now, they're probably going to be pretty comfortable.
I like that though. I think, especially Keita, I think he's kind of one of my favorite players in terms of mentality, because you mentioned how he will throw ideas into a pot, but he wouldn't force it. He wouldn't be like, Mole, you've got to throw my idea. He's just like, hey, maybe we do this. And then if someone says no, or if they just don't think it works, or if someone just doesn't think it's the right idea, whether Mole just says, no, that we're going to do this instead, Keita's like, all right, fine. No problem. Which I think is a really nice mentality. I think that's certainly worth spotlighting, just looking towards that and kind of hoping that the rest of the team really can shape around that idea of just follow the leadership of Mole. If you want to chime in with some ideas, go for it, but his word is the law. Do what he wants you to do, and you have a shot of coming out this match to the other side and not taking that run down to the lower bracket. Because they're playing for a spot in the grand finals, bear in mind.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the important factor as well. And if you come through the upper bracket, you get the one-map advantage. That's the big factor. That's where you kind of want to get through the upper bracket. It's not just you want to make it there. You want to try and make your lives easier on the day. But anyway, the buyer's coming back into it. Instant double-up setup for FM. We spoke about this, but this time around it does have the potential to actually bite them.
Same sort of thing, but let's see if it is going to work out for them. Whether you're going to be looking for that early frag. Mole is going to give them the ability to find it, but only just. It's a pixel peak for the most part, as he will get away from things unscathed, walking up towards Matrix, of course, a journey up through the steps. They begin to push out towards long. Weber going to readjust, leave himself open towards mid, but then repeat spots out the push coming in. This is a lot of information for FM, but still in the cracks.
Mole trying to do some work there. We'll tag Pulse down to 1 HP. That was actually very effective. They've got the push through to the A bomb site, but they've got such a chokehold over the opposition. They can't really do anything. They're finding the frags as well. Jenko gets one. Keita does one. Another headshot comes through off the back of Smooya with the close angle. This is horrific. They're going to get shut down. Pulse has to stay alive. 1 HP, AWP in hand. If he loses the AWP, his money is going to be so bad. They have to back off now as well. Vital these two players save. But because they went for that investment, that double AWP, right? This is where it's actually going to be displayed now as well. Second AWP that was out there has been lost. They can buy up and switch around because two of these players are going to be able to go through and save. But still, if they die again into that final round, they're going to have to go for a UMP buy.
It just really stresses them going to the second round of overtime, right? Because it means if they drop out of this, just as you say, things get very, very weak for them. So they need to erupt into the second round, or it's just saying this could be over. Just the way that Fish are also able to separate that A site, they've got to improve that hold. They can't allow Fish to kind of always just rinse and repeat the same sort of game plan. There has to be improvement from FM. Go back to that freshness. Just because you're on that CT side doesn't mean you can't bring something organic to the table where you are rotating across the map. You are bringing some different angles and changing up your hold on the fly, swapping players in and out. There's no harm in it.
Honestly, I want to see more Pulse towards B bomb site taking the aggressive face early on. We used to see that as well. I don't think we've seen Tree utilized.
Shot like once.
Like yeah, like Pulse went there when he was the only person with a rifle.
It also got
Pulse won the round
when they used it.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Pulse won the round. We've seen nothing really going on initiative-wise, which is weird. Usually FM seem a lot more like going on. Yeah.
Questionable stuff, at least the questionable scorelines and a matchup in itself as Fry is going to flash himself over the peak, but gets overcome by Mole. It's going to be an overwhelming force of T-side. Just all the members moving up through the ramp. Weber, Rhino, re-peeking on towards Roma. Same space on the CT side as well to try and force the issue, but shouldn't be allowed too much here. This should be a very clear-cut advantage, and Weber with the pistol lays Keita to rest, meaning it is just Mole now. A double kill for him, looking for a perfect ace. He wants a round win for his team.
Okay, he can back off. He can try and get the bomb. But, like, if he wants to go to B, he dies. If he wants to try and take the fight towards A, he's going to really need to bring a lot to the table. He will surely get spotted out here. They know where the bomb is yet. Weber finds a frag. Easy. The thing is as well, Fry and Zinio can actually get a good buyout into this round because where Stanley and Pulse saved, their money's good. So they can drop weapons over and buy ups. They're all going to have good nights. It's actually a lot better. That was the scary factor if they actually lost another round. That's when it would have got like sour, right? But they buy back into it. Obviously, Fish123 as well now into this. Still one AWP in play. Pulse still on the AWP over on the side of FM. But they just need to keep it going. If they get another round on the board here, 2 rounds to play with, it's only going to take 2 rounds to win it over into the next half. That's better. I mean, before, they literally had to fight for their survival. Now they actually have potential to win it if they get another round on the board here.
Well, this tug of war back into play. Both these teams finding their grip. Who has the strength? Certainly a big ask. Well, there's one that we will continue to turn the page and follow the story right until it ends. We will look to see who our first grand finalists will be in UK Masters. Both these teams fought so hard to get here. It'd be such a shame to see it end in such a slaughterous way. The aggression coming in towards platform. Slowly but surely, they push their way out. They're making an AWP of Pulse who starts a bit of a mare, but one pick for the second. Fry with the trade. Starts to pull back Keita. Jenko eating Freya alive there. Great headshot from him. Leaving just Weber behind on the flank, all alone. 1 versus 3.
Oh, this is scary. Weber in this situation. Sure, Weber's done this many, many times throughout his career, but it's going to be so hard. 1 versus 3 at this point. You don't have utility to work with, but he's got the AWP. They're in good angles as well. You do find the one headshot. Oh, the second as well. This is sick, actually. Takes down Smooya. This is achievable. The only thing is, Jenko, the B site. This is his domain. Jenko is unreal when it comes to defending this bomb site. This is going to be so scary. Pete comes through. Takes 1 bullet to beat down Weber. FM only get through that half with 1 round. Considering last time around they had a flawless half, 3-0. You get away with 1 into this next half. They still have potential to actually achieve something here, but again, it's just going to be scary. I mean, FM could actually close it out here.
You just have to look at what do we think of Fish on their CT side.
The thing is saying that though, Fish had a flawless half, beginning of OT. Also, Fish CT half was actually pretty good from what I remember.
That's the reason why I pitched that question straight off the bat. What do we think of it? Exactly. It was quite good. We were happy with it. We were content with it. So as much as FM, sure, they have a shot on their team side to try and get themselves into picks and try and force a win, it's still Fish. They're 5-4 up. It's still them looking to close it out. They still have a very strong shot here. It's really even for all intents and purposes.
It's true. Fish definitely could try and shut the game out, to be honest. And that is the scary factor. If they do lock it down, close it out in this WOT. There are those 3 rounds left to play with at this point. Let's see how will unfold. Those shots coming in towards bomb site. We'll see Pulse kicks it off. Takes down Kina, hungry for more as well. Will execute Moles. They flood their way through. Now going to push up towards that A site. Smooya is there. Misses the shot though. Forced to fall back. This is very good for FM. Oh. Smooya! The second whiff coming out. That man absolutely loves apple crumble.
Struggling so hard there, and the minute he misses that second shot, the rest of his team are hung out to dry. They just give up on life because there is no chance there. It's just a collapsing force all over the place. So important on that A site with that AWP that you get those picks. Especially when that rush is coming in, because you make their life just that little bit easier for your teammates when they're rotating in through door, when they're coming in through balcony. When those picks don't come in, you've got so many players on the site, it's just too much to handle. This ain't a game of hot potato. He's got to do something. It's not just pass around the frags and hope someone will pick it up.
And the thing is as well, so they got 2 rounds. So FM could actually close it out here. They get the next 2 rounds. To get this and the following, they could actually still lock down the game. The same could be said for Fish123 though at that point. So obviously don't count it now.
So close.
Yeah.
So they're all not missing this time around, but the quick trade nullifies the value of it.
It's kind of awkward, obviously, as they trade it back in like that. Still favours the T's though, really. I mean, that's the AWP Smooya down. You lose Pulse that has been playing out of his mind. He's really been playing his socks off in a lot of these rounds, so it's a bit of a shame that Pulse actually does get traded out, but still definitely going to favour them as they start to back off. Seems like they want to take their aggression towards B. They had to rotate 1 player off B as well because of Smooya's demise. Now look, 2 players on B, at the best of the time, it is hard to hold that site with 3 players. Up against FM with utility as well, they are going to be struggling to ward them off.
Step by step. Mark on forward. Out of platform. Ready to make this cross now as they will throw themselves a flash, aided by the CT side, in fact, as well. Should be able to get himself just the 1 pick here, dropping the bomb, which is going to hold a lot of value. But Stanley finding a pick on towards Keita means that the site itself is completely uncontested. The rotates have to come in nice and smoothly, and they have to make it working through door. Roma just going to support his teammates as well as they do get themselves in towards second room, but that really allows this AWP to funnel them in. The minute that information is given, it makes things even harder for the CT side.
Waiting for this push to come through now. Stanley, he's going to be the backstab as he plays over by Block. They are being spotted out. Gets taken down as well. Mole be able to find the frag back onto it. Roma as well doing works. He finds a headshot. Nilzinho comes in with the AWP smackdown. Misses the second shot though. Scary factor is now as well Fish. They get their 6th round on the board. FM need to get the next one to stay alive. Take it into another set of OT. Triple OT will have to be coming out there. Or Fish123, if they get around on the trot, they lock it down. They close out the game here.
When that happens, we go into a whole nother map. Inferno. It's going to be quite the rodeo. But we have to get there first. And this one is where that will be decided. The singular AWP, 4 rifles, plentiful utility for both of these teams, and same narrative on both sides as well. The only difference will be keeping it on that UMP. But at the end of the day, we've talked many a time about the UMP and its ability to be a strong SMG and a very strong supplement for a rifle in itself. As already you can see, peeks being taken. Weber just trying to play around this ledge of upper drop, looking down in towards. Could be coined as hell, but Smooya with the ADP completely flashed off, but will repeat. He's not trying to pick, that's disastrous. Fry. No single tone left unchecked. Stanley playing on this side, plants the bomb. This is getting tough to Fish.
This is awkward now. Left in this 4 versus 4. He's in good positions, especially when Weber has an off angle like that. It favors him so much. You peek into him, he sees you beforehand, he kills you. Roma dead. You leave 3 man left alive at this point. They're going to push you 1 by 1. They have to try and do something. Everyone just crouches, hiding away. The teams are toying with them. They try and clear hoops, but there's not going to be anyone there. The frags come through. Keita goes down. We're going to triple OT.
You love it, Jackie. Don't try and fool any of us right now. You are loving this matchup. It's so damn close between these two teams. We went from being so uncomfortable with various different aspects of play, whether you're looking at FM, whether you're looking at Fish, we're looking at FM on their T side, and their ability to not be very creative on their anti-ecos, whether it's Fish and their ability just to compose themselves. Either way, they're matching up nicely against each other. We couldn't be asking for a better matchup in terms of deciding who our upper finalist is going to be.
The only thing that confused me with that is FM had an unreal season. Then they come back in on their next city hop, and it seemed like because they weren't going to die, or because they weren't going to lose instantly, if they didn't shut
Smooya! Straight through the wall on towards Pulse. Have to interject there because you can't miss that. That is crafty stuff coming in from the young boy himself. Smooya making it work for the team. Getting that first pick. Difference from the previous round.
Unreal wallbang to kick off. That's the thing, right? It seems like all of a sudden, when FM know they can have a safety net, they start to let things slip. But now, they really have to step it up once again. Obviously, back reset. We're in the same situation we were in 2 overtimes ago. 12 rounds ago, if we cast our mind back. Now, Smooya, he's already got 1 frag on the board. His teammates have done work as well. They have the man advantage. It is a 4 versus 3 situation. Teams have encroached up and towards upper mid. They're ready to push their way out on towards the bomb site. But can they find the frags is going to be the important part.
Nilzinho looking to turn the leaf. Walking right into the crosshair of Roma. Smooya, though, grows up more and more as the rounds develop. And he does just so much more. The pick on towards Fry really changes things, cements it for this city side yet again. With Weber the last man to fall. But no real shot at clutching that one out. A 1 versus 3, so difficult. Smooya stepping up and around, giving his team that ability to play with an advantage. But how repeatable is that on the CT side?
I mean, that was just kind of luck, really, wasn't it? It's just a pre-fight, like a spam.
Exactly.
So, you know, you can't imagine he's going to repeat that. And
will he go aggressive again, though, is the question. He might not be able to repeat the wallbang, but will he, off the back of that, get confidence to take more and more peaks?
Well, this is the thing. Early season side, we saw more of that. You know, Smooya was going for this aggressive hunt. I mean, you remember the ace, where he just basically pushed out, played around the smoke, 3K, then got like a 2K on the back of it, was able to close it out off the back of the ace. And it's just, it's weird. It seems like there's moments where they can just slice their way through, like, you know, a hot knife through butter. And then occasionally, it's just like they just forget everything. They're trying to cook some toast without plugging it in.
Good stuff.
Toaster's not turned on, you know, the bread just sits there.
Fun tip. Don't put a fork in the toaster.
If the toaster's in the bath as well, because electricity.
Good stuff.
I think it has to be plugged in though.
Keeps it. I'm going to start strong with an individual pick. Charging on forward, looks for a second, but Fry going to shut him down, as it is going to be just a 1-for-1 trade. A lot of damage to be applied to the FM side, though. 3 players all low in their own relative lives, just being put down to around the 70-60 sort of benchmark, which doesn't sound all that crazy, but it's a lot of value in it for a CT side. Just to get that a little bit down, it helps them getting into the later end of rounds, especially when you're holding off a quick push. The more you've done to them in the early round, it's just the easier job for the AKs to then chew them up and spit them right back out again. It's going to be just patience to be employed right now. Mole going to throw off a flash, just being a bit defensive on towards the A site. They're playing very, very passively now across the board pretty much, and it does leave this window open for FM to try and vault back onto his feet. It's the pistol of Smooya yet again to devalue him. Whoever will win that battle with the rifle fry, the headshot on towards Jenko. FM looking to head things back up their direction. They get the bomb point, the passiveness. Fish123 beginning to punish them. As Mo will find just a one, but when the one is angry, pretty much close this one out, goes to the spray, doesn't quite find it. But you're leaving Romer in a 1v2.
The Homer caught in the fire of flames there. Nilzini is going to take him down as well. Now, honestly, if FM get 2 rounds in their T half, I think they might close it out if they play normally. I didn't even know.
I feel like how many times have I heard the phrase, I think they might close it out now.
Well, because I just... they just keep doing weird stuff. It's like, I'm like, oh yeah, that's working. And then they just don't.
It's been a funky game, to say the least. I think that's a fair way of describing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, 1 AWP left over on either side. Somehow Nil's back on it. No pulse. Obviously, T half, Nil's going to support AWPer. See what he can actually take here. Try and take Matrix control early. Fry is so low. Lucky he gets away with that. Actually, should have been punished there at that point.
Weber. Push to come in from Smooya, only catching him off guard. Smooya getting read like a book now. We saw him really grow as the match got on. But just as he grows, just as quickly he dies somewhat off away from things. As it's tough for him to have that impact. That's where the aggression really gets well met. Still waiting. Mole, the next man, to get himself ready to walk onto the chopping block. It's looking rough for the CT side. But now though, 50 seconds left. Utility prepared and Molotov mounts up the wall. Keep to holding close. Should be able to find at least bare minimum a singular pick. But Pulse, no, why not pre-fire and be extra cheeky? It's just more for this T side. Finally a pick coming in. Jenko, the only man to do damage. But it's not Jenko versus the world, because that just doesn't stick. FM, they get themselves their 8th, and they continue to push forward.
You know, it's a shame. When the game ends in OOT, if you win all rounds, you get 22 rounds on the board. You know, like OOT. You can make a Taylor Swift joke, but you can't do that now because.
Well, you're acting like this game is over. We've triple OT already. Who knows where it's gonna go?
Yeah, I mean, we might get ourselves to 22 rounds at this point.
Who knows?
Who knows? Really.
It's possible.
12, 18 rounds.
Yep.
Has been played. So that's fun. So this one will actually unfold though. Aggression coming out, divide the B bomb site apart. Nades roll in, the mortar strike. Look at the splash damage. Oh my god. Everyone has been railed down. Someone's got a grenade launcher from Quake. They're just hammering on Mouse 1. Everyone's dead. Filthy.
The Rockets next in line, slam away as it is going to be just explosions all over the place. Smooya and Mole, the last 2 men standing, both turned into shrapnel. FM up to 9. Just 1 more required.
No AWPs as well. Didn't go for the double AWP. So obviously kind of feel confident in switching up the playstyle a little bit here to try and close the game out potentially. Could be a difference maker that actually does benefit them. Smooth's got the AWP over on his T side. Most likely you're going to see that situated towards the bomb site. He'll try and get the opening frag over my platform, peek out wide. They can't really contest that. They can't really fight against it. But when he tries to take control of the site, if they play up close towards Broken Wall or just on top of a fountain, maybe get someone on top of a tree boost as well. That's when they are actually going to be able to slow him down. I hope we see the tree boost.
And you're going to be sitting there now just praying in a corner, hoping that we see just some smart decisions. It's not even working around at this point. It's just, you know, seal the deal, get it done. Where we both pick up that frag on towards Long Keaton. The AWP of Smooya brings it back yet again. He just blows the big hole at this point. Because it is going to be just another quick return Mole on towards Pulse. Back and forth we swing. 3 versus 3, quickly turn back into a 3v2, an advantage swaying towards FM. Smooya still standing yet again, looking to grow a bit more into mature players. It is going to be a push bunched up with Jenko. Taking the peak from platform. Leading the charge here as he does tap away. Nothing quite connecting, only damage to be done. Right, just 4 HP, 1 HP, burns in the flames. Things are rough.
HP puff and stuff. Smoothie finds the frag there back on towards Stanley. Obviously just left on Ilzinho now, 1 versus 2. Can Ilzinho be the saviour to actually lock this one down? Peak comes out, Smoothie kills him.
Great play from him there. Turns it back from just a single pick, then gets a second. Doubling up as well and pushing further for the triple. Means that things still are all to play for. 8-9. Just another round. Jackie, where do we go?
Who knows? I mean, not surprised at that point, actually, because we've seen this happen a few times. It looks like we're contemplating going for the double up setup, but actually decided against it. Ilzinho had 8.5k, could have, if they wanted to. But just go for the 1 now on posts. Obviously, they have not had an AWP out at all this half. So this is a change. This is a switch up that could actually catch them off guard if they're not ready for it over on the side of Fish. And those AWPs are so effective. We've seen that multiple times. Obviously, aggression towards B. Smooth actually isn't there. Last time, obviously, we saw him take the fight towards B, but he is going to be over at mid. Smoked off now, so he can't achieve any early round picks.
120 on the clock. A lot of time. Things to change. But it is just Fish123 taking advantage of this now as Roma going to lead the charge. Pulse gets himself very up close and personal, just playing almost a CQB style with the shotgun. This is a crossfire. With Mol going to get punished straight off the back of that as he does inflict damage on towards Pulse. Stanley put out of position. Not going to work out either. Janko just going to force the hand of him. Quarter overtime. Looking so likely at this point. We're in a 4 versus 2 situation where FM have shown nothing at all on this final round on the CT side. It's just been very, very disastrous. They've been given so many windows that a lot of these players haven't had to do anything. Keita and Smoothie have just had to walk on towards a site and let the rest of their team do the work. Now they at least get a chance to shine. It's in a 3 versus 2. Neil and Webber aren't just going to give up. They are going to have to crack at things. As Neil does hop around, gets himself in towards second room. Keita holding ever so close. So Molotov is going to get thrown out, but that's not going to affect him at all. Smoothie goes to the shot, doesn't quite get to make it stick. But at the end of the day, it's not just Smoothie to be the young gun. We are going to quad over T unless Webber can make this one stick. And well, that angle is just impossible. It is over. We are going to go take to our chairs as it is going to be quadra overtime. When does this end?
Who knows?
I see just like staring up into the light at that point, just rocking the fact that this match refuses to die.
Honestly, who knows? I mean, it's so back and forth. It's up and down more than... I was going to say something there, but keep that one for the late show, the late viewing. Honestly, I don't really know. FM have moments where they look really, really strong CT half, lock it down very effectively, then it all just goes away. They have no idea how to play CT half, it seems, on rounds they need to close out. Smoothie has moments where he's just playing bad, and FM capitalise on that. They find the early round picks, then it works out. Then when Smoothie all of a sudden can just return to his normal form, Fish lock it down. Because he is the one getting those opening frags towards that B-bomb site. Obviously, 14 kills just in like the 18 rounds of overtime alone or whatever. So it's pretty good, like, you know, averaging like a kill a round at least.
Well, just look at Pulse as well. What is that, 23?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's why when we've seen Pulse die, they lose. Like,
4 on
Stanley has 4 kills. And Stanley was playing very well throughout, like, regular time. Stanley played very well regular time. It was Fry that was struggling. Now, Fry has got 18 frags on the board. It's been like a flip-flop. Stanley, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm so done with words. Like, I feel you. Trust me, I'm a tangled mess over here. Quite literally speaking.
Yeah, I'm being assaulted by wires.
Fun fact for you, though. This is an overtime record for the season.
Really?
Yeah.
Just the most OT?
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. That's a stat.
That's a fun fact. Do you not have a fun fact?
Go over it.
I wish it wasn't. Wee.
For
Oh,
now,
Jesus.
that's a face. It's a balaclava on a face, in fact.
Some nice blue eyes, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's a little green tint there.
Yeah.
I didn't really get that.
I was trying to connect that for a second. I'm used to trying to crack jokes, but it just didn't quite work out. Sad times. The direction industry needs more comedians.
Have you seen our streams, mate? Wee. Oh.
It's been a long one, but the battle rages onward.
Battle of Rage is omniscient.
Our English at this point is done. It's over. The battle rages onwards is what we're going for, as our upper finalist is still yet to be decided. We have a third map potentially coming rising up if Fish closes one out. On the flip side, FM win this, and it's all going their way as they will secure that spot. But there's no clear winner in sight. There's only one thing to do, and that's to watch this quadruple overtime unfold. Jackie just has a dance. So much appreciation for this. I'm loving it.
Stanley and co getting ready for the push to come through, though. Obviously just holding tight right now as they lock themselves in, ready to do a punch and take some down. Take some down the T's.
Jackie, this isn't just dance. You don't have to reenact what they're up to. Because it is going to be the peak coming from Smooya. No more action from you, though. Kind of disappointed in that. Going to be a bit more on the ball there, Jackie, with the acting skills. It's going to be Stanley. Trying for a flash towards platform. Mole's going to get himself ready towards drop zone. As he does take that peak, Stanley with the M4 back on towards Smooya. Roma back in return. Nilzinho on towards Jenko. This one swinging. Jackie's basically become Neymar at this point. Doing work on the side of a football pitch as Roma planting the smoke.
Waiting for the push to come through, obviously, as he just clears his angles. Switched out to the Molotov there. That will set him on fire. He tries to run away, obviously caught in a tight angle. Not going to be too good. Weber coming in as well. Flashbang goes over so we can try and take the face. Keita is ready with the AK though. Rhyming himself up, getting ready to try and go for the attack as Weber is close by. Just toying with him though. No peek will come out. Peek does come through in the air. Weber takes him down. No, actually another frag goes through. Nilzinho as well. Somehow they get the round that was not theirs. It wasn't meant to be, but they do it. They pull it out.
Loving the fact that he managed to have a cheeky rhyme on platform apparently. Just tried to sing a few songs, but unfortunately can't quite dance his way out of that one. As he doesn't make it stick. FM, they drop the gauntlet, they get themselves the round on, squeezing one in the nick of time. And at 10 to 9, the things still keep on going, but FM, they get the edge. And that's most important for them, as they will look to continue try and shut them down. But we've seen this. We've seen them get these rounds, and then Fish123 just chain them back together again. And, well, here is the old Fateful. Double.
2 orbs. 2 orbs. Better than 1. Obviously, this has actually been how they've been winning rounds before. We didn't see this a few times. Now they go back to it. Will be interesting to see if they can lock it down. They need to have a flawless City half. Honestly, they can win if they get all 3 rounds on CT.
Yeah, I gathered that if you get 16 rounds in normal time, you also win the game later.
It's true. No, it just looks like when they get back to that T half, they lock it down, but they can just never close it out on CT all of a sudden, which was the complete flip side of what we saw before.
I don't understand what's changed though, because you look at the way they're playing, it's not all that different. It's just their ability to seem to hit shots has been a little bit more, like, almost just transparent in nature. Fish has just been able to walk into sites, and instead of FM just shutting them down, it's Fish just saying, all right, you've left us welcome on 8. Cheers, yeah, we'll be right in. Just drop a bottle of beer down while we're there as well. We'll meet you in. Like, it's happy days. They're having a great little time. But this ain't no party. Fish, they're lapping it up. FM, they need to stop giving it. They need to just focus on getting this one done, getting themselves into that grand finals. That's the seriousness.
Burst comes out though, Roma kicks it off, headshot comes through, Smooya as well, does damage, but Nilzinho can't fire back. There's Fry though. He's got 18 frags and he's going to try and keep adding to that as he gets another kill. Adding that one to the tally, takes down Roma. 3 versus 3 scenario left standing. The bomb is not down, 30 seconds left to play. A peek comes through wide! Smooya gets eliminated, there's another frag in the way of Nilzinho. It's just Mole left, surely he loses here. Tries to kill Mole, couldn't even do it. Mole overpowers him. They have 2 rounds to play with now. 1 more on this CT half. They go through with a flawless CT half. That's when they're in the limelight. They're in the driving seat to try and lock it down.
23 to 11 right now. Pulse, a man, a machine, an unstoppable beast. Similar scorelines challenged by Fry as well, just really nipping at the heels. As they dig themselves in this final trench, get ready to charge on forward out of it. Holding the line almost on the FM side of things. They peek out, they get themselves a pick. Smooya the first to fall. The young gun falling short yet again. Seems to be a tail of Fish on the steam side now, as they are struggling to get rounds that we've previously seen them in all these other times pulled through with his pulse on towards Roma. Just another tick. Get that in on through with him. He's going to start to let rip, but Mole denying it. A pick back in return from the steam side. Another potentially lining up towards platform as Jenko fakes it. But unwittingly aware of the fact that Keita is not quite supporting him just yet. Eventually will take the fight, but it's a little late to see the side already. They know what's going on. That flank is pretty damn hot.
Oh, Fry goes huge though. 2K comes in out of nowhere. Keita, sure he's been playing fabulously, but he cannot pick that one up. Fry takes him down. 12 rounds on the board. They need 1 round to close this out. Fish123 physically cannot win. We will either see another overtime or FM will claim it and walk away as victors with a 2-0 scoreline here in this upper matchup.
Please don't break the trophy, Jackie. That's all I've got to say on that one.
Off it goes to OT again, just launch.
Just launch it at the screen. Have a launch.
Let's see how this one's going to go, though. Obviously, FM now back on the T side. They've actually been getting rounds in the T half. You know, they've been getting like 2 rounds every OT on their T half. They haven't been able to secure 3, I don't think, but they've been able to get 2 minimum every time. Pulse as well. Smoothie, he's done that so many times with the counter boost. You just lose your head. You can't do anything. That was sick.
He knows that was coming as well. You should know that sort of push is going to roll on in. It's so repetitive, but it works out. Now, you can see almost as Mole saying, oh, I want to go at it again, but then has second thoughts, realizes that that is a bad plan as FM play with their advantage. No trade coming in from Fish123. It's going to be key to getting ready to push the block. Tight the off angle. Taken advantage of by Nilzinho as he lands a shot with the EWP. As the P comes in towards drop. Roma going to find herself that headshot, picking up the first frag for the CT side. Finally, something for them to employ. But they are clutching at straws at this point. 55 seconds left at 3 versus 4. FM trying to find themselves an opportunity to cement themselves as victors of this matchup, just as you say, as they are going to be hitting over towards this B site. But time to reflect. Time to change things up. They don't have to go towards B. They can quite easily head back towards A, but it seems like that is the decision they've made, getting themselves out on towards the platform. The flash grenades will be popped, the charge continues, but look at Jenko. Jenko, the man to stop here. As Mole going to find himself just another frag. We're at 3 versus 2 here. Fry going to find just another pick onto Jenko to make this one contestable as he makes it to a double kill. Just Roma now, all the pressure on his shoulders. 2 low players. Fry exceptionally low. Can he pull this off?
Roma takes his peek around block, obviously 1 versus 2. Nilzinho scoped in, has the angle covered as soon as he goes to the peek, should find it. Takes down Fry. Nilzinho for the execution, though. 13 rounds on the board. They close it out. That is going to be the overtime win in